Motivation is unreliable. That is the first truth you must accept. It comes when life is easy. It disappears when resistance appears. And the moment you depend on it, you give your power away. Most people believe discipline begins with desire. Musashi knew the opposite. If discipline required excitement, no warrior would survive battle. If action depended on mood, the sword would never leave its sheath. Musashi did not wake up inspired. He woke up committed. He understood that motivation is a modern luxury, a feeling people wait for because they are afraid to move without reassurance. But discipline is not emotional. It is mechanical. It is cold. It is loyal to decision, not feeling. The reason you struggle to stay consistent is not laziness. It is negotiation. Every morning you ask yourself, do I feel like doing this today? And every time you ask, you weaken the command. Musashi removed that question from his life. There was no inner debate, no bargaining, no need to feel ready. Action happened first, feeling followed later, if it came at all. This is the shift you must make. Stop asking how you feel. Start honoring what you decided. Because discipline does not begin with motivation. It begins the moment you refuse to negotiate with yourself. Rule 1. Remove choice. Discipline collapses the moment choice enters the room. Every option creates friction. Every decision drains energy. Every internal debate weakens resolve. Miyamoto Musashi understood this early. He structured his life so action happened automatically. Training was not a question. Silence was not optional. Practice did not depend on circumstances. When the mind does not choose, the body moves. Most people exhaust themselves before they begin. They stand at the edge of action, weighing comfort against effort, waiting for certainty. That hesitation is where discipline dies. Musashi removed hesitation by deciding once. He chose his path fully. Then, he built his days to serve that choice. No second guessing, no alternate plans, no emotional votes. The more choices you allow, the weaker your discipline becomes. The fewer choices you allow, the calmer your movement feels. This is not rigidity. It is clarity. Decide what must be done. Set the conditions so it happens without discussion. Let repetition replace willpower. When choice disappears, resistance fades. When resistance fades, discipline becomes quiet. And quiet discipline is the kind that lasts. Rule 2. Turn action into rhythm. Discipline fails when effort feels heavy. The body resists actions that feel unfamiliar, forced, or irregular. The mind looks for escape when every task feels like a battle. Musashi understood that repetition changes the weight of effort. He practiced the same movements until they no longer required thought. Thousands of strikes carved into muscle, breath, and posture. Over time, movement replaced intention. Rhythm creates momentum. Momentum removes friction. When an action repeats daily, it stops asking for energy. It begins to generate energy. Think of the simplest habits in your life. They happen without emotional input. They happen because they are woven into your day. Musashi treated training the same way. No anticipation, no build-up, no mental preparation. The body moved because the pattern was set. Discipline strengthens when actions occur at the same time, in the same order, under the same conditions. Structure teaches the nervous system what to expect. Once rhythm is established, resistance weakens. Consistency stops feeling heroic. Action becomes ordinary. This is the moment discipline becomes sustainable. You do not push yourself forward. You move because movement has become familiar. When effort becomes rhythm, discipline stops draining you. It begins to carry you. Rule 3. Detach from results. Discipline weakens when attention drifts toward outcomes. The mind begins to calculate. Progress is measured too often. Doubt enters when results appear slow or unclear. This is where most people lose consistency. Miyamoto Musashi trained without watching the scoreboard. His focus stayed on precision, timing, and awareness. Victory arrived as a consequence, not a target. When effort serves results, pressure builds. Pressure shortens patience. Shortened patience breaks rhythm. Musashi avoided this trap by placing his attention on the moment of action itself. Every strike was complete on its own. Every practice session stood independent of reward. The work mattered, even in silence, even without recognition, even without visible progress. Detachment protects discipline. It allows action to remain calm. It prevents emotion from interfering with repetition. It keeps the mind steady through uncertainty. Results arrive on their own timeline. Discipline survives only when it is not pulled forward by expectation. Return your attention to execution. Let improvement reveal itself quietly. When the outcome stops demanding your focus, discipline regains its strength, and strength maintained over time becomes mastery. Rule 4. Live by structure, not emotion. Emotion is unstable. It shifts with sleep, weather, stress, and circumstance. A life guided by emotion never moves in a straight line. Musashi shaped his days around structure. His routines anchored him when conditions changed. Structure held firm when feeling did not. Training occurred regardless of mood. Practice followed the same order. Silence remained part of daily life. This consistency created internal stability. The mind settled when the body knew what came next. Most people rely on emotion to signal readiness. They wait for confidence before acting. They wait for clarity before committing. Musashi reversed that sequence. Action created clarity. Routine produced confidence. Structure generated calm. When structure governs the day, emotion loses authority. Feelings rise and fall without disrupting movement. Discipline strengthens under predictability. The nervous system relaxes when expectations are clear. Energy stops leaking into hesitation. Build your days with fixed points. Set times, set sequences, set non-negotiables. Let emotion exist without command. When structure leads, discipline becomes reliable. When discipline becomes reliable, progress becomes inevitable. Rule 5. Become the type of person who acts even when unmotivated. Sustained discipline emerges from identity. When action feels separate from who you are, effort feels forced. The mind treats discipline as a temporary demand rather than a natural expression. Musashi lived in alignment with his path. Every action reinforced who he believed himself to be. Training was not an obligation, it was confirmation. Identity shapes behavior more powerfully than intention. The body follows what the mind accepts as true. Many people attempt discipline through pressure. They push, resist, and restart repeatedly. Each restart weakens belief. Musashi avoided this cycle by living his discipline daily. His actions reinforced his identity as a warrior, an artist, and a student of the way. Same goes for you. Choose an identity that demands consistency. Act in ways that confirm it daily. Let behavior rewrite belief. When discipline becomes identity, motivation becomes irrelevant. Movement continues without struggle. The path unfolds naturally. There is no forcing, no inner resistance, no need to convince yourself to act. You move because this is who you are. You train because this is your way. You continue because stopping no longer makes sense. Over time, effort disappears. Consistency becomes quiet. Discipline turns into presence. And one day, you realize the work was never the burden, the conflict was. Once that conflict is gone, the path feels clear, the body moves freely, and progress carries its own momentum. This is not intensity. This is alignment. This is discipline as a way of life.